It is the RIOT podcast.
Hi, guys.
Hello. Good morning or good whatever time of day you're listening.
I know it's morning for us, but welcome to the podcast for today.
Yeah, today in the show, we end it all with a song from the 60s.
Why is that stuff in your head?
What?
Why did you even hear it in the beginning?
I'm an old soul.
You're an old soul in a young body?
Yeah, I really am. And so I've got all this. No, you could ask me about the movies that are out today on Netflix.
Yeah.
And we talk about that in the show too. And I don't know what they are. But I know songs from the 60s. Yep, I do. So that's how we close it all out. You have to stick around to the end to hear that one.
We do need to include in this podcast, it is National Hot Dog Day today.
Yes.
So we talk a lot about that. And then you guys come through with a lot of hot dog places we should not be eating at. But if anybody has any where we should be eating at, or if you just text us any place you think we should try, that would be good to get in on at 877-2-RadioU. And as a podcast listener, you can text us any time of the day. Just put your name and that you're listening to the podcast.
Yeah, of course, if we get your hot dog recommendations, it'll be too late for us to eat them on National Hot Dog Day, most likely. But
well, it's good. Sometimes the better day is the day after.
Yeah.
You know, like Cinco de Mayo, everybody goes eats Mexican food, but instead you should be going the next day.
Everybody's out celebrating National Hot Dog Day today. We all know that. So we don't want to avoid the crowds and wait till it's not National Hot Dog Day. Good point. So that's in the podcast. Also, we talk a bit about dating. It's back. People are doing it again.
We just had to figure out how to do it first.
Right. Yeah. So that's in there as well. And, we talk about Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a couple of that's a sampling of what you can look forward to.
I like hearing you talk about it because I can tell you're passionate about it.
And it's one of the number one things in my life.
That you're always thinking
and songs
about?
from the 60s.
That's all you got.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for including us in those too.
Yeah. This is what the show is going to be about now.
Oh, well, enjoy the podcast today. Thank you for listening. And text, like we said, and say hi at 877-2-RadioU.
And of course, Nikki, what do they need to do?
You're supposed to subscribe. If you're already subscribed, unsubscribe, resubscribe to the podcast. That'll pull us back up more. And then make sure you leave a wonderful review for us to be able to see. Because then, again, that helps push our podcast to more places.
Yeah, if you like it, 5-star review. If you don't,
5-star review.
Keep listening, but don't give us a review. Just
You're not ready yet.
Yeah. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean you should take that out on the review system.
No, you just got to wait. But yeah, if you do that, that really helps us, again, get more of a push to more people.
Yes. So enjoy.
Bye,
we'll
guys.
Catch you later.
Hudson, Nikki, the RIOT, RadioU.
You know, there's those things that you see and you picture it in your mind, and you think it would never happen in real life, but you wish you could be there if it did. Like somebody driving over one of the balls at Target.
Oh, the red ones?
Yeah. Don't you always imagine, like I always see them and I'm like, what if somebody actually did drive into these things? Because it has to happen, right?
You and me might be different because
Really?
I don't know if I've ever thought about that, but you'd have to be pretty out of it to slam into one of those things, but I bet it does happen.
No, but you have to, there's a term for the effect that I'm talking about where in your mind, where you picture stuff that you would never do, but you wish you could know what would happen if you did. You know, like driving over a Target ball, or I mean, like
I'm sure there's
a horrible example, but like if you're in an argument with a police officer. Picturing in your mind if you were in an argument with a police officer and you were to try to steal his gun. You know what I mean? Like that kind of insane stuff that normal people would never do, but in your mind you want to know like what would happen if it actually did happen.
Well, I think the Target ball might be a safer one.
That's a safer.
Your other option.
Well, you might think that. But
I see the picture.
Yeah.
How did she do that? How's that even possible?
I know, that's what I was wondering too. I don't know how it was able to, because she's on
top of the ball.
She is on the ball. She is very.
If I was the police officer, I would have said that to her.
Her name is Michelle Wright. She's 49 years old. This is Holly Springs, North Carolina, and somehow it's wild that it is the center of the car.
Yeah,
like the car almost could be teetering on top of the Target ball. And she
so
made
that's my question. Like, how would you get enough? She must have been going pretty fast. How would you get enough
to get it to bounce up like that?
To get it to bounce onto the ball.
I don't know. She said,
and at 3 p.m.
Yeah, she. I wonder if it was before a Target shopping trip or after.
Well, it does say she was driving impaired, so that's probably why she got charged with driving while impaired and careless and reckless driving in connection to it. Because like at 3 p.m, I know Target can be intense sometimes for people, but that is an amazing thing that she managed to do with her car.
Yeah, when I picture people driving into the Target ball, when I've done this in my mind, when I pictured myself doing it, I would just think your car would crumple. You know,
well,
they seem so heavy that it would really. Your car wouldn't withstand the impact, but hers did.
I guess I thought differently. I thought the ball would start rolling. Like it would
you think
away.
It would dislodge?
I think it would. But
be like an Indiana Jones moment.
Yes. And it goes down to like we have a Target that has a Lowe's next to it. It would just go down to the Lowe's. And then someone would have to roll it back.
It's downhill. Yeah.
It is, but it feels like it's even weirder because she backed out and then accelerated and backed over the ball.
Right. So she was going reverse, like it's a demolition derby. So maybe that's what she was thinking.
I don't know how that's even possible, but then her car is just stuck on the ball at the Target.
Well, I wish I could have been there to see it. Don't you?
Well, at least we have all this video and pictures. It feels like we can.
Yeah, it almost feels like we were really there. So now I guess I don't have to question anymore what would happen.
You know what will.
I have pictures that at least give me some idea. Although I still want to see what happens if you go from the front.
People who are the best get awards. People who are the worst get their own podcast. The Worst of the Riot.
Looks like people this summer are looking forward to getting back out in the dating game. Because that is, Google has said that dating searches have reached their 5-year peak.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people are anxious to apparently get back out there. In fact, if you look at Washington, D.C., it was the number one, how to date was the number one most searched term recently. How to date.
Everybody's so desperate you either forgot how to date when you were staying inside.
Or you never knew in the first place.
Is it more is it more how to date like virtually? Or are we still doing virtual dates?
You know, how to date just leaves it really open-ended. And then it's up to Google to give you some direction from there. So I don't know what they would instruct you to do.
Sure.
I haven't looked up how to date in a long time. Haven't needed to, fortunately.
I think it's great, though, if you think like, when you are searching something like that, like that's personal. Like you want to try to get some Google help. But
that's right.
Google goes and tells on you.
Yeah, that's not exactly.
To everybody that you don't even know how to date at this point.
Imagine you're out on a first date and somehow it comes up, they see your Google search history and you looked up how to date right before you messaged them. That would be
bad.
I think that might be that could be really bad. Or you could both realize that you both searched that right before you messaged each other. Aww. And it could be a nice little moment to realize how insecure we all are and how we're all just trying to figure it out.
Yeah, they say that a lot of dating apps predicted this spike in dating for this summer.
Yeah.
Because basically people were starting to get vaccinated. People were starting to go out more.
Yeah.
Things were starting to open up. And so they said like Tinder and spokespeople for a bunch of different apps were assuming that this summer would be back to a lot of in-person dating.
Yeah.
And it looks like that, according to Google, that has matched up to it.
Yep, it's hot vax summer is what they're calling it.
They were so excited to get that.
They've been working on that term for like a year. So, so people are getting back out there. I kind of feel that now do you think people are getting more ready to do more serious dating after the past year where I bet people were messaging? You know what I mean? Like they were out there talking. It's just you didn't want to get into anything. Either it was somebody you knew you could hang out with just at your apartment, or it was, like it was just a one-time thing. It wasn't where you were doing something long-term.
It might have been, though, more connecting during the pandemic because people who did date did a lot of Zoom dates, or you were just texting a lot.
Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare, doesn't it?
I know it does, doesn't it? But I feel like sometimes when you're texting a lot with a person ahead of time, you're sometimes connecting more than if you just went out to eat for a night or something. So maybe people grew like together faster.
You think?
And so now it's going to be really awkward when you have to spend time with the person in person.
That's right.
That's why they're searching again. You don't know how to date in person anymore.
Yeah, I always thought for me that the texting part was harder than just seeing them in person.
Yeah.
But I wonder if everybody else is reversed now because you're so used to just the DMs and the text instead of actually meeting up and hanging out.
Well, don't be embarrassed if you need to Google search some tips or some help with going back into the dating world, because they say that this summer that is way back.
Yep,
and
you're not the only one.
In case you're wondering, yes, we do get complaints.
They have gone too far. This time, they are going to be held accountable.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
We just talked about how everybody's ready to get out and date again. The Google searches for dating have hit their 5-year peak, which I guess is not an all-time high. 5 years ago, maybe they were a little bit higher. But people are ready to get back out there. And I get it, especially after the year we've had. It's so understandable. And it's just something that we are already dealing with before the pandemic of loneliness.
Yeah.
Like people just want people to hang out with. And it's such a catch-22 of you can talk to anybody you want at any time online, it feels. But how many people are you really connected with? How many people do you really feel that you can share who you are with, that you can actually talk about life stuff with? And for a lot of us, it's not that many. For whatever reason, our connections seem to be growing pretty shallow. But I want to let you know that through all of that you can connect with God. And I'm not asking you to date God because that's a totally different thing. It's like there's dating relationships and then there's a Jesus relationship, but Jesus is ready to be there for you when you feel like you've got stuff you need to get off your chest. You've got stuff you're dealing with and there's not really a friend that gets it, or your friend that does get it isn't available at the moment, or your girlfriend wouldn't understand, or whatever it is. God actually cares, understands, and is ready to hear about it and is ready to deal with it with you. So if you're feeling that loneliness, God can help with that in a multitude of ways. He can help by listening to you. He can also help by saying hey, maybe this loneliness is not coming from where you think it comes from. There's just all kinds of stuff. Jesus is ready to help you. Whatever you are dealing with, you don't have to look far and wide for it. God is ready to start helping you with it right now. And all you need to do is ask. Say, hey, God, I'm ready for some help. I'm feeling like I need somebody to connect with, and I'm ready to start connecting with you and go from there. He will help you out. And RadioU.com/free gifts is a great place to start as well.
Trying that first and then going into that dating world.
Yes, totally change your viewpoint.
Yeah, so then you have that someone with you who can help out, and then, finding friends and other things is that next level in.
Yeah, well, with dating too, you never want to be desperate with dating.
No,
and I think when you're feeling extra lonely, that can sometimes be the worst time to go to try to date because it's just going to scare people away.
If we're all Google searching beforehand, that means we're getting to that desperate part of, really trying to get a connection with someone. So you're right, making sure we're not going into it that way, but you've got that hole already filled in, and then, meet people after that.
Yeah, and when you think about it too, if we're all searching for, I'm lonely, I need somebody to date, when we do get to dating, that means it's going to be each of you, it's going to be more about you than the other person, and that's not how it should be either.
Yeah.
So start trying to find to address that loneliness elsewhere. God's going to help you out with it, and He'll help you with the dating too.
What's worse than the worst of the Riot? The Worst of the Riot podcast. Yeah. You did this to yourself. Podcast. Riot. Radio U.
I don't know if you heard about this, Nikki, but your anti-smoking medication has been recalled.
Oh, mine?
Yes.
Don't have
your
it.
Chantix.
No.
You're going to want to stop taking it.
Didn't know.
You need to take that. I mean, they say that it's just out of an abundance of caution, so it should be fine if you do want to keep taking it. But you can get it returned.
So this isn't like the stuff you can chew if you're trying to quit. This is there's medicine you can take as well?
Yeah,
if you're trying to stop smoking?
It's called Chantix. You might have seen the commercials if you watch daytime TV or something. I think Ray Liotta is the face of the brand.
Tell me you found that out from the story and not because you've seen the commercial?
No, I've seen the commercials.
You've seen the commercial.
Yeah, it's Ray Liotta. Stop smoking like me.
I didn't know that he did that. But basically, Pfizer is saying that it's going to pause the distribution of Chantix.
Yeah.
Because they say it has, oh my gosh, high levels of cancer-causing agents.
Yeah.
And it's no good to take.
It's just so we're all clear, the cancer-causing agent is nitrosamine or something like that, which we all, like you hear that and you're like, oh, got to stop taking it because we all know what that is. But it is, they are saying that even though it is over FDA levels, and the FDA is saying this, it's not just Pfizer. Even though it's over the approved levels, they say it's not necessarily anything that's so dangerous that if you have been taking Chantix from, and by the way, it's just from some specific batch numbers.
Oh, I gotcha.
It's not all Chantix ever made. It's not something in the formula from when it was invented. It's just some of them got contaminated, I guess, somehow. And the FDA says they are voluntarily recalling it. It doesn't have to be. If you've been taking it, you don't have to necessarily worry, but just to keep things extra safe, they are recalling it. And it does kind of add in another layer that it's a drug made by Pfizer.
Well, I thought you were going to tell me like it was having problems if you took the vaccine.
Oh, no.
But it's not that. They're just saying
you're
that.
safe with that.
They're saying that the problems in it, we get that from like food and water all the time. So like we're exposed to the same thing outside of this drug. But if you take it every day, and like you're saying, because this batch has higher levels of that, they say stop doing that.
Yeah. So wasn't it so nice before, like you go back a year and we didn't know any of these drug companies?
Oh, you didn't even know Pfizer?
You occasionally would hear the name, but you never thought about it.
Well, I bet you knew it if you took it.
The more that Pfizer and all these other things are in the news, it never seems to be helpful for that. You know, I bet you Pfizer's just like, can we just not be in the news for a little bit?
Same thing with like Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah.
Like, how often is that in the news?
No, it was never until a year ago. And I know that, the Pfizer vaccine, they've never had any issues with it that I know of. But still, like, if there was ever an issue, that'll be the headline, you know? And I feel like I just feel like all these drug companies would probably rather just stay more anonymous.
Not anymore.
You almost missed hearing this one. We just couldn't let that happen. The worst of the riot. RadioU.
I don't know if this was announced specifically during the NBA Finals last night, but I did see the commercials for it, that Applebee's is teaming up with Disney to offer you free movie tickets.
Because it is like going to Applebee's, like taking the Jungle Cruise. Is it a big boat ride?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of bad jokes, and some people would say racist stereotypes. I don't know. I don't think I would associate that with Applebee's necessarily.
Haven't been to Applebee's in a while. Well, no, they changed up all their stuff for like the boat ride at the place. It's supposed to now mimic more of the movie, which comes out. We're thinking next Friday is when the new Jungle Cruise movie comes out.
Yeah, there was the Jungle Cruise ride at Disney World or Disneyland or both. I did like it because I love the terrible jokes on it. Mm-hmm. So I hope they haven't totally ditched that. And I wonder if the movie is like that, where they're just cracking like Muppet style jokes the whole time. I could be in on that, but it would probably be better if there was Muppets actually involved.
Well, we'll see what happens.
The Jungle Cruise movie comes out next Friday, July 30th, and starting now, Applebee's through August 15th, if you spend $25 there in one transaction, they are going to give you a ticket to see the Jungle Cruise.
Oh, you know what this is?
What is it?
Well, this is like they're paying you to go see the movie.
Yeah,
it makes me feel like they don't have a lot of faith in the Jungle Cruise movie. Yeah. And it makes me also feel like they're trying to bribe me to go back into theaters
and go to Applebee's. I wonder if you actually have to dine in for that.
It's valid for valid for dine-in, takeout, and Applebee's delivery orders. So maybe not like DoorDash and stuff. It might not be through that.
Take out your Applebee's and then eat it in the theater while you watch Jungle Cruise.
I haven't been to a theater enough to I can't get back into bringing my own food in.
Sneaking it in. And especially the state theaters are in right now. You would actually feel bad. You're like, I know you guys have had some tough times, so I will pay $18 for that popcorn.
I remember remember one time I wore a backpack in. It was like a small backpack purse, but I guess it still counted. And I didn't bring in, like, I don't do that much, but I brought in a water and maybe like a soda.
Okay.
And so I put him in the backpack, and I remember I was using my phone. I was like turning the ticket, and she's like, "Okay, well, I just need to look inside your backpack."
Oh no, they actually asked?
She did, because it was a backpack.
To be fair, why did you need a backpack to go to the theater?
No, it's like a backpack purse. Like that was a trend for a while.
Okay.
And so when she asked me that, I was like, well, I have a water in there. Just to let you know ahead of time so I'm not lying.
Well, maybe that's why that trend went away.
Yeah, she let me in anyways. But for a moment I panicked because I thought I could get in trouble.
Yeah, they're going to confiscate your backpack at AMC there.
So if you're trying to bring in your Applebee's to hide the food, you might not get in.
They're going to smell it probably. But yeah, it's very transparent that, yeah, you're right. Disney probably doesn't think Jungle Cruise is going to do very well. So what they're doing, instead, to make the numbers look better, they're paying Applebee's for this promotion.
But it counts as a
Applebee's
ticket.
technically is buying the tickets for you, but really Disney's basically buying the ticket in a very roundabout way that makes the movie look like it was more popular than it actually was. And maybe it gets a few extra people into Applebee's. And if not, at least it's a free advertising campaign for them.
I've only seen one trailer for it, so I'm not sure like if it looks good or not.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
They say the tickets come as a Fandango promo and expire on the 30th of September. So you only get like a month to go use it, or 2 months, I guess. And that's what they have for Jungle Cruise.
I just keep thinking, can you give us a free code to just watch it at home? Can we just get it on Disney Plus instead? I don't you don't really want to go to the movie theater at the moment anyways.
Applebee's.
Yeah, and you don't want to go to Applebee's.
I can't go inside places anymore. It really messed me up.
Do they still do bottomless apps at Applebee's? That's the only thing that could get me in that door.
You'll have to look, but you have to spend $25 to get the ticket.
Think of it as athleisure for your ears. RadioU's Worst of the Riot podcast.
It's a big day today.
What's today?
National Hot Dog Day.
Why do I feel like it's the national days so many? Like, are we just
It's always
them
a
more
national
often?
day.
It's always something.
It's always a national day. And in the summertime, when you go from July 4th to Labor Day without any actual holidays,
You'll take
you need to
anything?
look for something to celebrate. And so that today is National Hot Dog Day. So
What
they're
do we
actually
get?
not a lot.
Is there like something from Sonic? That's the only place I can think of that sells the hot dogs.
No, not Sonic. The best one probably, and this doesn't help us unless it also includes their ghost kitchens, is Nathan's Famous.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking, Nikki and I, it was off air. It was a couple days ago.
In case you're wondering, what do Hudson and I look at?
It's the same stuff we talk about on the air. We talk about off the air. And for some reason, we got stuck on this Nathan's Famous hot dogs, where they do the hot dog eating contest.
Yeah.
And we were like, where can you actually get those?
Well,
besides in the grocery store.
Well, we were also running like store-wise because I've only eaten at Nathan's, I think, like in an airport.
Yeah.
I've never been to one in like a standalone store.
Right, because they do, if you don't know, they actually do have restaurants.
They do.
Of course, many of us, if we're hot dog aficionados, know you can get them in the hot dog aisle at your local grocery store.
So we were like, hey, let's look up the locations. And then I pulled up the map and it was like, like Nathan's is everywhere.
Right. We were surprised to see.
I actually looked and I was like, no, they just have ghost kitchens everywhere.
In our area, there's the closest one. Cooks out of a Frisch's Big Boy. Which doesn't really inspire a lot of confidence.
I know. And I know ghost kitchens are out of like the oddest places.
Yep.
But I felt like that was wrong. And they picked the opposite side of town to where it's so far away.
Yeah,
they won't even deliver here.
But if we could, and if they are honoring this deal, which I'm not sure that they are, you can get 5-cent hot dogs.
5 free ones?
No, 5 cent.
Oh, 5-cent hot dogs.
Yes.
Oh.
Nickel. A hot dog for a nickel. You know what that is? What? a piece of chain, like a 5-cent piece, a coin with Thomas Jefferson on it.
How about we go and park outside of the Big Boy and then just order the
We'll show them this news story and say, we demand our 5-cent hot dogs.
We know you're in there.
And Frisch's Big Boy probably, you know what? That's probably normal for them. You think?
People knocking on the door yelling?
Yeah, just like unruly customers that really want their discounted senior breakfast or something.
Dude, I don't even know anymore to trust when I want to have something delivered because anytime you look it up, you're like, that's not that. That's not Big Boy. That's not Nathan's.
It's not actually Nathan's. It's just Big Boy with a Nathan's logo. But that is, by the way, if you did want to take advantage, only from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Oh, for today?
So it's really a limited window. The other places on this list I've never even heard of, so why even acknowledge them?
Well, no, which ones? Maybe it's regional.
Let's see. Dog House, a free house dog through their app today. So that's actually at least something free. I have never heard of Dog House, and that's Haus, like it's German or something.
Sure.
So, but it is, I'm assuming, in the U.S. Hamburger stand and Wiener Schnitzel. You can get 5 chili dogs for $5.
Oh, that sounds like
or your money back.
It sounds like heartburn or something that make you feel old. Like later in the day, can you eat 5?
And here's what's crazy. It's a chili dog.
Yeah.
Cheese is not included. So you have to pay if you want the cheese. Who gets a hot dog without a chili dog without cheese?
Wow, way to be cheap, guys.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, they don't want to lose all their business. They have to at least get the cheese money today.
How about this? 7-Eleven.
Oh, gosh,
You can get a quarter-pound big dog.
Big dog for what?
$1. Is that even a deal? Isn't that what they sell them for normally?
Not the big one.
The big dog. Hey, you should not be walking into a 7-Eleven and paying more than $1 for a hot dog. You should. That is a bad choice.
You get in there and you say, it's a holiday. Give me something cheaper.
It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Happy National Hot Dog Day.
That's number one.
We just went through the subpar National Hot Dog Day deals. So there's not really a lot of discounts to be had or free hot dogs anywhere. But I still think we could celebrate, Nikki.
What do you want to do?
Well, we're going out for lunch today, right?
We are.
And I'll get to that in a second about why we're going out for lunch because I want everyone to know. But I want to think about places that would have hot dogs we could go to. That are on the adult menu, not the kids menu, by the way.
What's wrong with that? You just get a couple
I am not ordering off the kids menu. I have too much pride to do that.
No.
Unless you go to Arby's where the kids' meals are free, and so I'll just add that on. Nobody has to know.
So you have too much pride, but isn't it a lack of pride if we're just ordering hot dogs for lunch?
Why?
Like, can't we do better than that?
What? Why? No. It's a National Hot Dog Day. When in Rome,
you order hot dogs.
You order hot dogs, yeah.
The only place I know would be Sonic. I don't know anything else.
Oh, there has to be somewhere better that does like
the Costco food court. You can get a hot dog there. That's an all beef hot dog. That's like $1.50.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's actually going to be a high quality dog right there. It's sad, isn't it, that there's not better places that have like real hot dogs?
Well,
it's so far away.
What is it?
Dirty Frank's.
Yeah, that just seems like a premium, though.
Yeah. They do gourmet hot
We don't
dogs.
want gourmet, and we don't want like 7-Eleven Speedway. We want right in the middle.
Yeah, we want like a sit-down restaurant. Man, wouldn't it be nice? I used to... I think it was Bennigan's. I remember going and getting like a deep-fried tortilla dog.
Hudson really likes hot dogs.
I do. And I always have. But yeah, that would be good. But Bennigan's, I think, has gone out of business.
If anybody has any in business places
hot dog
that
suggestions,
has hot dogs that they would like to
sit
suggest.
down. But we are going out for lunch today, and I wanted to tell you this is the thing that I hate because we have a new producer that's going to start working on the show. His name is Isaiah. But what I hate is I've heard other shows, and they'll bring in a new person that works on the show, and then they don't let them talk, but they'll still talk about it.
We promise next week you'll hear him.
Yeah, you'll hear him eventually, but we want to. I'm doing the thing I hate right now because it always has. I don't know why it sticks in my head, but it's driven me crazy.
Well, why don't you pull a seniority and make him go look up hot dog places and find one for his own
What a
lunch.
better way to start on his first day of the job.
Well, now, Trevor, I don't know, but you're saying Dairy Queen has good hot dogs. I don't know. The Dairy Queen near us, the guy yells at everybody, so like we can't go in there.
Yeah.
Andy said Sheetz. They have good hot dogs.
Sheetz is far away, and it would be kind of weird for us to all drive up there
together
and sit outside at their patios
And get hot dogs?
Yeah, and just get hot dogs.
But it's
and
a
actually,
holiday.
to be honest with you, I do love Sheetz, but their hot dogs are not the best. I'm not ordering a hot dog at Sheetz usually.
Well, that's his
it's
line right
still
there.
a gas station.
So Park says Wiener Schnitzel. We could do that.
Yeah.
Skyline Chili.
Oh, you could sit down there, but nobody. Actually, I'm going to say nobody likes it, but Chris and Michael and I all like it.
They love it.
Yeah, so I haven't been in a long time. We have the votes here. There's not that many of us.
If you go there and sit down, you will never get back up again. So.
You'll never leave.
Jason said Tony's Conies might be something to go look at.
Okay, something to look up.
We'll search all these when you guys text them in.
We'll have Isaiah, the producer, search all of them.
So text and let us know your, for National Hot Dog Day. We just want, not too expensive, just a nice, calm place, not too gourmet, but...
We're talking about hot dogs. They're not going to be too expensive.
Well, you'd be surprised.
If we go to a place and we're ordering hot dogs and we get the bill and it's like, whoa, this is too expensive, that's on us.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Well, it's time for people to just pick at my wound a little bit. My open sore that has been caused by the rift between Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers.
So you like the Packers.
I'm a Packers fan second.
Did you like Aaron Rodgers?
I'm a Aaron Rodgers fan first.
Do you like how he's handling all this?
Yes.
You do?
It's long overdue.
Long overdue. Is he standing up for himself?
Yes.
Or what would you consider this to be?
He has been unfairly maligned and mistreated with the Packers for years.
This is a Packers fan saying
this. I am all on Aaron Rodgers' side here. I mean, I see the Packers' side of it, and I also see that Aaron Rodgers at this point is at a place where he doesn't have a lot of options, which, when your options are making millions and millions of dollars or retiring in
with millions and millions of dollars.
I mean, he's going to be all right either way. But I wish as a Packers fan they had treated him better, and because then it would put the Packers in a better position to win. So here's what's happening. He's been holding out basically all season. There was reports that he demanded a trade right around the NFL draft and stuff like that. I think the full details of the story is he didn't technically demand a trade, all this, but he's just really unhappy.
So he doesn't want to play there, but then there's not many other options.
Yeah, it's all a negotiation because I think there's always the kind of side of it, like maybe he would be happy there if they just changed like a million things. Or one big thing, which is firing their CEO or whatever, their president.
Oh, they don't get along?
No, they do not. And for good reason. Okay, listen. Here, let me do the headline first.
Sure.
And then I will get into why Aaron Rodgers is correct. He turned down... The Packers this offseason they've been trying to get it, like they've towed the line this whole time of we want him to stay here, we want him to play. Yeah. And that's easy to say after he just won the NFL MVP and almost got him to a Super Bowl. But they offered him a contract extension that would have made him the highest paid player in the NFL ever. And that's pretty significant, especially at his age of 36. I mean, he's pretty old for a quarterback.
So they wanted to do a 2-year extension?
Yep.
He said no to it?
He said no because clearly it's not about the money, I guess, for him.
And that's only people who have that much money
that's
will
right.
say that. But he just doesn't want to play past this year then?
That's what it sounds like. I don't know if it's official reports, but the rumors are, I think, that he is basically accepted. He's going to play in Green Bay this year because they clearly don't want to trade him. And so if he retires, he's leaving all this money on the table. That's still hard to do. So he thinks he can stick it out one more year. And then at the end of this coming year, they'll trade him away finally.
He doesn't want to have to deal with any of that.
But here's the extra layer and part of why he's so upset. For his entire career there, they've never drafted a wide receiver in the first round. And so he has kind of been vocal about how that's a problem for him. He wants somebody to throw the ball to besides just this one guy who's really good. But they've never drafted somebody in the first round. So, of course, last year, not only did they not draft a wide receiver in the first round, they drafted another quarterback named Jordan Love. They traded up in the draft to take him.
Oh, so hurts.
So that's supposed to be his successor.
Aww.
And they didn't even let him know about that, is all of the reports, which that is really ridiculous. The more you hear other retired quarterbacks and stuff, they're like, no other team would ever do that. So that's why
he's mad.
He is very justifiably upset. That's why he went on a vengeance tour this year and played really, really, really well. But and understanding all of that, when you hear the Packers offer him to be the highest paid quarterback, add on 2 years additionally to the end of his current contract.
And he says no.
But you're wondering, well, they really must not like this guy that they traded up to draft in the first round. If they thought he was any good, they wouldn't need to offer Aaron Rodgers all this money.
It's too much.
Yeah.
It's I feel like they must have a lot of mediators working in between on this. But I was when I was looking at the story, I was like, well, when does this thing end? Like, when does he have to decide or play?
Well, I mean, he's still holding out of organized team activities and stuff like that. But by the beginning of the preseason, we should see him there if he's going to play. Because you can't go through the whole preseason not playing, not practicing. But so I guess we'll kind of know then. But there's going to be probably more headlines and drama with it leading up to that point. So I'm looking forward to just getting an answer. And if Aaron Rodgers is stuck there this year, I just hope he has a chip on his shoulder in the way that makes him want to win a Super Bowl and then leave. So that I can see him win a Super Bowl with the Packers and not play really poorly and then leave.
Just seems awkward. Like, it'd be very tense there.
Yeah.
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki. Oh my God, no way. On RadioU.
No way, no way.
You know the song? The most popular song in America at one point?
What was it?
Baby Shark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Can you sing it
gosh.
for us?
Man, we're talking about hot dogs and Baby Shark.
Hot dogs and Baby Shark. We are a show for 4-year-olds.
I know, or for those of us that act like we're 4-year-olds.
But Baby Shark, you know the song. Baby Shark, do 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 do.
Yes, everybody knows it.
And even if you don't have kids, you probably have heard it. That's when you know it's big. Well, it's so big that they are now making a Baby Shark movie.
They don't have one already? Or?
I guess they don't. They do. I didn't realize this. They have a Baby Shark TV show.
Oh, they do?
That's can be found on Nickelodeon. And so I presume Paramount Plus as well if you're a subscriber. But they are working on a Baby Shark movie based off of the song because there's so much. Actually, hold on. Let me get this quote. It says... This is from...
Is the song so deep?
The CEO of Pinkfong, who said to The Hollywood Reporter, it will be an opportunity for us to introduce new events into Baby Shark's life that haven't been explored before.
Oh, no.
It will be within the core world, but it's an opportunity for us to see what else we can do.
Oh, no.
Because there's so many unanswered questions in the Baby Shark song.
Oh, how about Mommy and Daddy Shark go away and Baby Shark has to find them?
Wait a minute.
Baby Shark gets lost.
Wait a minute. That sounds a lot like Shark Tale. No, just kidding. That sounds a lot like Finding Nemo. I'm on to you.
I think Nickelodeon could probably try to swing that.
Well, the truth is, much like the Baby Shark song, I don't think the Baby Shark movie needs to have a lot going on for it to appeal enough that a parent couldn't just throw it on for their kids over and over and over again, and that'll be fine.
This just makes me still upset that we can't get anything else. Like, they're going to put more money into this than any show we would want to see.
Yeah, but at least this is original.
It's not.
Kinda. Well, it was original idea, and they're just continuing on with it. It's not a reboot.
I know, but how can a writer write a whole movie? Is there even any, like, isn't it just singing? There's not, like, dialogue?
It literally is Baby Shark do-do-do, Mommy Shark do-do-do, Daddy Shark do-do-do.
How do you make a movie out of that? And the writer who's doing this probably is going to make so much more money than any other project they've ever done.
As long as it's going to be a musical, and as long as there's some good songs in it,
then you're going to go for it.
Then it's going to be fine. The children will love it.
I guess
they don't need much. Children don't need much to be entertained.
I'm talking about us. I want us to have something to entertain us.
This isn't for us.
But why can't we have anything else? Everything else has just been disappointing.
We've got a world of streaming services at the tips of our fingers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like yesterday, CNN Plus, we talked about that.
You could just watch Space Jam: A New Legacy anytime you wanted, and you're complaining there's not enough new content for you.
The equivalent of someone's lint collection. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Riding that train. That's Very old song. And the next line is high on cocaine. So
Okay, well, thanks
gonna stop singing at that point.
What goes through your brain? I have no idea why.
It's called Casey Jones if you want to look it up.
No thanks.
It's Casey Jones. I think he's a train conductor or something. What do they call it? A conductor?
The person who is just that.
He's high on cocaine and he drives the train.
Boy, drugs are in everywhere, right?
In the 60s. In the 60s they were.
So weird.
And Google Maps is now going to help you ride the train, is how this connects.
That's the connection?
That's the connection, yeah. I see trains, and I could go with Casey Jones from the 1960s, ever relevant, reference, or I could go with anything more contemporary, and I chose the 60s. Google Maps is going to help you out by giving you more data on how many people are on the train, at like how crowded. You know, if you look on Google Maps, sometimes you click on a restaurant and it'll be like, not too busy right now.
Oh, yeah, it'll show you the peak times.
Much busier than normal. And then it also has compared to what it's normally like. And now they're going to kind of expand on that data and work with different transit agencies around the world in over 100 different countries, where they are going to be showing you how crowded things are and what routes and stuff. They're working on an idea where they can even show you car by car if you're going to get on the metro in DC or the subway in New York and stuff like that. If there's the car up at the front and nobody's in that one, even though everything else is crowded.
Sure, which one to go to.
You will know, so that you can avoid being around people, which is always nice.
Which is what we're really trying to get to.
That's what we want. So this is, I know it's probably an invasion of privacy that none of us agreed to, but if we can avoid other people, they can invade my privacy all they want.
So this is for bus or train. They're expanding what's a transit crowdedness predictions. So they'll work with agencies so they can sell their data in 100 countries and deliver you real-time predictions on how many seats would be on that train or be on that bus.
Right.
To let you know if it's worth going for or if there's a better one for you. And then they'll just share that information through Google Maps.
Yeah, sometimes you can usually tell if the train's going to be crowded before you get to it. But sometimes it would be helpful to know, let's say you're leaving a baseball game or, like a big event, and you get on the metro and you're really trying to get onto this train. But it turns out if you just wait to the next one, it's going to be a lot less crowded. So if you can just hang on, that would be good to know. I can see a lot of uses for this information. It just also involves you constantly looking at your phone while you're trying to navigate all of this, which just one more thing to add in there.
And if you take a bus or train, this is obviously way more important to you.
It depends on what city you're in. We drive, but I know from living in the DC area, man, taking the metro, that can be a big gamble.
That's what you do. You got to know when to go.
Sometimes you'd get on and you didn't realize that partway down the line, you have to get off and take a bus 2 stops down because they've got the whole metro. The DC metro is a mess. And I feel like that almost every city goes through that actually has one. So any extra information you can have is always helpful.
So you might not know this because some people get weirded out by this, but Maps does track how often you shop or where you eat at.
And that's how they know if the restaurant is busy, because everybody in there has their Google phones.
So they track, drive time, fly, walk, even if you're biking. And so that's in your timeline tab. So that's what's feeding this information.
This was the worst of the riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because RadioU exists, and RadioU only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.